So far we have seen around 8 points about the existence of God. So most of the points, like I said, it is from Swami Shivananda. So what is the point number 9? So point number 9 is when we encounter any danger. Suppose we go to a forest and a tiger is chasing, or I'm traveling in a ship, the ship is sinking, or there's an earthquake or volcano, or I'm in the mid of the night, lightning, thunder, and all those things. There is nobody who says like, I will not call God. It's a basic tendency beyond our strength. Anything happens which we cannot understand, where we do not know what to do, definitely we call for help. So we say, oh God, forgive me, protect me. All those words will come that time. If that person is even an atheist, still the cries comes from him calling for God. So this Swami Shivananda says this is one of the proof we can have. If you take our evolution, now we were a child, then we finished school, college, then we became across the stage of youth, then middle age, then old age. If you take anyone who reached 70, 80, 90, whatever it is. Now, in all these things, I can see I was there like that, a small boy or a small girl, then I was growing up. So my mind was changing, my body was changing, but there is some unchanging witness, which is witnessing all these things. So you can call that as a self. The self has not changed. The self which is powering this body and mind has not changed. It is a body and mind keep on changing. So this is also, this unchanging self, you can call only as Brahman, because that which is changing, you cannot call that as a permanent thing. That which is permanent everywhere, you can call that as Brahman. So I can call this self or the soul or this Atma or Jivatma, Paramatma, whichever you can call, that as a Brahman which exists everywhere. When we get into daily life, we always say like, this is my body, this is my mind, this is my sense organs. It is as good as telling this is my car, this is my house, this is my cell phone, this is my property. Now, whenever I say this is my car, for example, now when I say this is my car, I am separate, the car is separate. I am somewhere inside the car. The car belongs to me, but I am not the car. When you say this is my body, then I am somewhere inside the body. I don't know where I am, but I am somewhere inside the body. So body is external to me. Similarly, when I say this is my mind, then the mind is external to me. So what is that which is internal to this body and mind? We call that as a self or Atma, Jivatma, whichever word we can call. We should remember this body and mind are vehicles to travel in this world. If we want to survive, we need to have body and mind. Without body and mind, we cannot survive. But these are all instruments to me. Like you have a walking stick. Somebody, when you have walking stick, the walking stick is only for me. The phone I have is for me. But I am not the phone. I am not the stick. So when we understand this, then we will start searching who I am really. When we say I am unhappy because my mind is not right, you know what it means? I am unhappy because of my mind. So who is that unhappy? We don't know. I am happy. Who is happy? My mind is happy. I am happy. So when we say all these things, it clearly says that I am beyond this body and mind. This point number 12 is about neti neti. Like if you want to come to this truth, then you have to say not this, not this. What is not me? You keep on deducting. Definitely in front of me, whomever are sitting, this is not me. So whomever I meet, this is not me. I can say, then go inside. Is this body me? No, I am not the body. Is the senses or me? No, I am not the senses. Is this mind me? No, this is not me. When you start searching or removing that which is not me, then you arrive at something which is you. Because remember, this mind and body are insentient. That means it cannot function on its own. It needs some energy. When somebody dies, we say it's dead body. That dead body has the brain, the body, the senses, everything. But what is gone is that electricity. That entity which was giving lot of electricity to function, it has gone. So that is me. When dead body, people always give, when somebody is admitted in ICU, suppose say somebody's uncle admitted in ICU room, then what he will ask, how is uncle, how is doing? Fine. Suppose he died, what they will ask, what this person will ask, when you are going to take the body. The moment somebody is dead, the respect also goes. So who is that making to function all these things, and who is that leaving the body? That is the real me. When you say this, not this, not this, what we should do is we should remove what we are not. Like every day we put a lot of mask. We play a lot of roles. Many people get identified with their education, with their, the money, with their power, with their many things, which they are good into it. So you keep on removing. This is not me. This is not me. Then beyond that, you exist. When we try to understand this is not like these blind people are touching the elephant and trying to come to a conclusion. The person who is touching the tail, this seems to be like a rope. But is this elephant? No, it is not elephant. Or somebody is touching its leg. It seems to be like a tree. Is this elephant? Is this not elephant? Remember, this is not elephant, but this is also elephant. So when you see everything in by parts, it is not Brahman, but what if you include everything as one, then you can say that as a Brahman, which is Satchit Ananda, which is the infinite thing. Again, this depends on three the principles of Vedanta, which we are going to see that also. So when you start finding who am I, it's like peeling the onion. When you start peeling the onion, inside what is there? Nothing. So nothing means we should understand it is not emptiness or no thing. This is one of the masters say it is put a hyphen between nothing, no and a thing, because it is not a thing. It is not a physical entity. Somebody is. So it is not a physical entity to see. If it is a physical entity, I would have experienced myself. When I am unable to experience myself, we should remember it is not a physical entity. So start removing everything, then it seems to be not there, but it is there. So we cannot perceive through our senses. It should be perceived differently. This we already discussed this point also. Like we are eating and the food is getting digested. Now, for next some slides, we'll be seeing more about brain, more about body and all. This is to, when we go little detail into the body, you cannot avoid for the awe factor. It's already there. You need to wonder how these things are happening. Because the moment food goes inside, really, we don't have any control of it. Who is making all these things happen? If the food falls, then certain hormones, first the acid secretion has to come, then the insulin has to be secreted, then so on, so hormones has to come, then every organ is doing its function without arguing, without fighting. Have we spent one day in our home without fighting to our family members? Without having negative emotion, without raising our voice, without any kind of getting upset over things? No, but just check the organs. Who is giving so much intelligence? Every organs never fight with each other, never fought. And if you take a cell of a liver, that cell will does only the function of liver. Even it will not forget and start doing other thing. It will not forget. Every organ, a kidney cell will do only kidney function. Who has programmed all those things? How they are doing in sequence? Who is controlling? We may simply say it is brain. We can say simply brain. Similarly, we can say simply God. But if you want to really get the experiential truth, just deep inside, just see, observe what things are happening. In fact, if we understand this biology, we may be cosmos to something else. We are going to see after a few slides all those things. If you see inside, there's a whole cosmos inside us. Like we are made up of trillions of cells. Suddenly all the trillion cells combine. Suddenly I came here. How suddenly I formed? So these are all like we need to only wonder. We cannot give any kind of explanation. This digestive process, remember, even if we ate something not good, the body knows how to filter and remove it. It takes only whatever is good. It takes all the nutrients, everything, and rejects all those things. Now, these mechanisms we can't even imagine. This is one more logical point he says here. See, it normally says aham means I, idam means this. When I refer to I will say I. So this is I am like this, I am like that. When I say somebody, I will say this or idam or that, him. When you say you as I, me as idam. You say you as aham, the other person as idam. So what Swami Shivananda says is, whomever you call, there is only aham, there is only I, because there is no the other exists. It is I for everyone. For me, I am I. For you, you are I. So this seems to be like little, the dance in words. So what it really means is, what is inside you is inside me. What is inside me is inside somebody else. So it says like it is only one I which exists everywhere, again supporting the Advaitam philosophy. Now, how this when I say I am different. When you say I, you are different. We are all different. How come we can be same? Like the question may come, how come everyone can be one Brahman? Now it's like this. We are like this balloon. Every balloon is different in shape, different in size, and different in color, everything. Right? We are like this. Can you say this balloon same? No, it is not same. But see, the shape, size, color is different. What is inside of each balloon is same. Suppose you burst a balloon, what happens? If every balloon, if you burst, what is inside is the same air. Similarly, the Brahman is same everywhere. That Brahman gets into this part of this body and mind, it starts behaving as an individual entity, or it seems to be behaving an individual identity for our mind. Otherwise, it is only one identity only. Now, how everything is one? Let's see by science also. Now, suppose I have a small seed. Let's say I have a pepper. Can you tell me, if I take one pepper, I am telling you inside the pepper, I have different material. Is it true or false? Inside one pepper, everything is different. I will get gold, I will get silver, I will get all kind of components in one pepper. You will say no. Right? Nobody will accept. Inside pepper, everything is pepper. How come you will get different things? Now remember, this is the statement of modern science. It says a tiny dot exploded and the entire universe came in less than a second. Less than a second, entire universe came into existence from a tiny dot. If this one tiny seed or dot is the universe, it exploded and everything came from the dot. Now you and me came from the same tiny dot. The sun, moon, star, and all the planets came from this tiny dot. Whatever you call as a black hole, the dark matter, the dark energy, or the galaxies, everything came from the tiny dot. When everything is same, whatever in the tiny dot is same, it has expanded and it is gone. Something very big, something very small. So this is one more way to visualize how everything can be one. Remember, this is not the philosophical explanation. This is the explanation given by science. By Big Bang, everything came. From where Big Bang came? They say it's a very small, tiny dot exploded, the Big Bang. That we call as a Big Bang. The universe came into existence. We can't imagine. When we say people ask for logic that I will not accept, you can tell this one. This is purely not logic. But this is science. We need to accept. So at the time of death, whether we are living, whether we remember or not, at the time of death, in the deathbed or just sometime before death, most of the people remember God, because we know God is permanent. All other things are temporary, and God is the only thing, only entity which can come with us. So this truth we also know now. Now also everybody knows. But when you have energy in the body, mind, and ego, we start forgetting, start playing like kids. When the kids are seen suddenly a lot of toys, when you take them to a mall, to the kids area, the kids keep on playing. The kids will forget the mother, father, everyone. When it will remember? When it gets hungry, when it gets tired, then it will say, Amma, it will come back. Similarly, we also remember God created everything, but we want to do our own thing. So if this we say, maybe many people don't accept. So we will take from the words of the great businessman. So Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, what he did. So he did a very different send-off to himself. What he arranged is, he just gave this responsibility to his sales CEO, Mark Benioff, and to share the book focusing on self-realization. The book is autobiography of a yogi, and this affected Steve Jobs very deeper, not in the final stage, in the initial stage itself. And I just read it here. The Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff shared that the book focused on self-realization and reflected Jobs' deep belief in intuition and looking inward. Somebody, a foreigner, a great businessman, a great intellectual mind, and when he talks about God, we should give importance, because he passed away by cancer, so he was slowly dying. So he did many things. What he did after that? This is a lesser known side of Steve Jobs on his spiritual connection. So when the guests came for the funeral, they were given a copy of the book carrying Jobs' parting message about the value of reflection and self-discovery. So that Benioff said, I knew this was a decision he made deliberately, which Steve Jobs took this decision when he was alive. This gift was the last thing he wanted us to think about. Because when a great person whom you revere, when he does something, we start thinking. So he wanted everybody to think about this book and life. So this autobiography of a yogi meant a lot to Steve, and as indicated in his biography by Walter Isaacson, he first read the book as a teenager, then a few years later while in India, and then again once a year. So he used to read this book again and again and again. You tell me, if somebody is giving something valuable, he is feeling this is the most valuable thing at his deathbed, that should be really valuable, right? Suppose Steve Jobs is a beggar, and if he does this, then we'll be ignoring, this guy don't have money. Money only is important. We may argue, but this guy had all the money. This guy had all the fame. He had everything. When he had everything, he can compare about God, the life, and the materialistic reality. When we don't have money, when we say, people think you don't have money, that's why you don't want. No, that's not like that. You see somebody who has everything. In spite of having everything, he finally decided this is not life. What life, what spirituality, what God is totally different from the materialistic world. Now, this is one more great wonder. Next point. So this I've taken from outside, not from Swami Shivananda. This is, if you see the unique combination of air, it is 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% other gases. Now remember, we are breathing in more nitrogen than oxygen, but nitrogen is not affecting me. That's a mystery. And who maintains this balance? Wherever you go, it is 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen. Really, we need to think about it. Who is maintaining all those things? What is the purpose of nitrogen? Too much, but it is not affecting me. We inhale more nitrogen than oxygen. Still, it is not. We are not reacting to it. And do we know we exhale oxygen? Even if you close the room, still we are surviving, right? When you put an air conditioner and the whole night you close the entire room, still morning we are not dead. So what is it we are doing? We are inhaling this 21% oxygen and we are exhaling 16% out. It is not you and me, everyone. So it's a wonder, like we all are different, but we are inhaling 21% oxygen. We are exhaling 26% oxygen. How much I am absorbing? I'm absorbing only the 5%, all of us. Now, this is the reason why yoga is very, very important. When you do pranayama, you are increasing your lung capacity. You can extract more energy, more prana from the same quantity of air. It is not air is scarce, but only there is a scope that I can improve my efficiency. See, when a machine can improve its efficiency, not only my lungs capacity, if I improve my lungs capacity, my entire faculty, that strength also increases. So this, except a super universal intelligence, nobody can maintain. Nobody can do all these things. It is so subtle, these things. You can't even think of designing like this. So I just found a few interesting facts about this thing. What is nitrogen? What is the purpose of nitrogen? Now, nitrogen is a building block of DNA, especially for the life of plants, nitrogen is very much required. And it is found everywhere, in the atmosphere and in the soil, in the water, in the air, everywhere. And it is a building block. So when nitrogen is not there, the plants cannot grow. It keeps a perfect balance, not only on the life, there is one more thing also. Now, this is how nitrogen gets into the earth. Now, the lightning or any natural thing happens, it forces the nitrogen in the air to get into the soil. When the nitrogen get into the soil, all the bacteria in the soil will collect the nitrogen. It goes and accumulate that in the roots of the plants. And when the roots of the plants have nitrogen, the plant can go well. We should remember, when we put more nitrogen, the plant will go well. But after a certain amount, it becomes toxic also. So not only toxic to the plant, but whichever animal eating the plant, the toxicity goes. So that's why the fertilizer we have, it has more nitrogen. So we should use optimally. So this is a natural process. What is there in the atmosphere, it is getting into the soil, making the trees to grow, so that because of the trees, the animals are able to survive. Because of these two, we are able to survive. So these things and all, we don't know who created, how it is happening, who is maintaining the balance, though we have spoiled the nature so much. Now, one more interesting factor, why nitrogen to be more? Why not oxygen more? Can we get more oxygen? They say if you increase the oxygen, at least few percentage more, now it is 21. Few percentage if you increase, now the earth will start getting fire. The earth will explode. The more the oxygen in the earth, no living can happen. All the living beings or trees and all the beings will get, the earth may explode. That's what they are telling. And to avoid that, this atmosphere acts as a protective bubble, and this maintenance of nitrogen at 78% is very much required. So see, now how it can catch fire everywhere. Now, as of now, it dilutes oxygen. If oxygen increases, it is not good for us. Now, the reason is, we can see here, these are different layers of different, layers surrounding the earth, which is protecting the earth actually. If this atmosphere is not there, then we'll be flying here and there. Now, see this. The earth is traveling around the sun at the rate of 107,000 kilometers per hour. It's not a small speed. We can't even imagine. No aircraft or rocket can travel at this speed. 107,000 kilometers per hour. In 1 hour, it can travel 107,000 kilometers. Such a fast speed. It is rotating around the sun. So it travels 940 million kilometers in 1 year. Now, how fast it is rotating? It rotates around 1,670 kilometers per hour. Like let's say we are here on the periphery. It is rotating in such a way, the air close to us is moving around 1,670 kilometers per hour. Fortunately, we have this atmosphere which is protecting. So if this atmosphere is moving along with us, if this atmosphere is not there, then we can't even stick to this earth. So this atmosphere, this 1,670 kilometers per hour on the peripheral and the whole, including its atmosphere, moves around 107,000 kilometers per hour. So much friction is created. If the oxygen level is more, you will get, if the entire planet will catch fire. So this is a beautiful balance the nature is maintaining. So when you see all these things and start wondering about, then I remember the Ekashloki. Through one shloka, the great Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya has explained everything. Everything is self. Now, this is G means guru, D means disciple. So the guru is asking, what is your source of light? That means to see what is your source of light. The disciple says, during the day, the sun is a light for me, and during the night, the lamp, moon or lamp is a light for me. Through the sunlight and moonlight or lamp, I am seeing the object. Now, Guru asked, yes, you are right. Tell me, what light is the means of seeing the sun and the lamp? Sun and lamps are helping me to see an object. What makes you to see the sun and lamp? It is my eye. My eye sees the sun and lamp. Next question. At the time of shutting the eyes, when you close your eyes, what is the light? Helps you to see. The disciple says it is intellect, because I can close my eyes, still perceive. I have an intellect. Now, what is the source of light for the intellect? Who is powering the intellect? It is the I, the self, the Atma, the Purusha, the Brahman. That is the source of self. Now, sage Adi Shankaracharya says, therefore, your own self is a light of lights. So the disciple says, yes, O Lord, I am that supreme light. This is a beautiful one-line shloka. So the objects are powered by light. The light is powered by eyes. The eyes are powered by mind. Mind is powered by intellect. Intellect is powered by the Purusha. That's why we say this Purusha or soul is a witnessing entity. That means it will not decide what to do, what not to do. But because the soul is there, it generates some kind of electricity through which the body, mind, everything functions. So it's a very melodious sloka. I just play it. Let's enjoy the sloka, the effect of. Though I also don't know the meaning, but it is so melodious. If you're able to get the sound, show me thumbs up. Thank you.
ज्योतिस्तव भानुमानहनिमे रात्रौ प्रदीपादिकम् स्यादेवं रविदीपदर्शनविधौ किं ज्योतिराख्याहि मे चक्षुस्तस्य निमीलनादिसमये किं धीर्धियो दर्शने किं तत्राहमतो भवान् परमकम् ज्योतिस्तदस्मि प्रभो किं ज्योतिस्तव भानुमानहनिमे रात्रौ प्रदीपादिकम् स्यादेवं रविदीपदर्शनविधौ किं ज्योतिराख्याहि मे चक्षुस्तस्य निमीलनादिसमये किं धीर्धियो दर्शने किं तत्राहमतो भवान् परमकम् ज्योतिस्तदस्मि प्रभो
So it is everything is me coming back, this self or this Brahman. There is a Shanti mantra in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. This Purnamada, Purnamidam, this most of us may be knowing. So what it says, it's, if you are, the philosophers were scientists actually, because the moment you go deeper and deeper, it's more mystical than science. So science also coming to the end like that. So it says, see, that is whole, this is whole. From the whole becomes manifest. From the whole, when the whole is negated, what remains is again the whole. Or say, I think this is same. That is absolute, this is absolute. Absolute arises out of absolute. If absolute is taken away from absolute, absolute remains. So we will be discussing this a lot more. Now, what we need to understand, what they are trying to say is, this is infinite, that is infinite. What is that? Whatever you can call as that, the creation is infinite, or you can call that Brahman or whatever is infinite. Whatever is this here, this soul or this body, this mind, everything is infinite. From that infinite, this infinite came. And when you remove this infinite, the materialistic infinite, still that infinite remains as infinite. We'll go a little deeper on this points. See, the world, what we see, it appears to be finite, fragmented and finite. But when you try to understand any object, it seems to be infinite. For example, if you take a seed of a tree, the seed seems to be a finite and small thing, but each seed is having potential to create the entire tree. Not only the entire tree, that tree will create more seed, that will create more tree. The whole universe is there in a small seed. Thus, there is an infinite potential in a small seed. It is not only in the seed. You take a flower, you take anything, even an atom. If you go minute in detail, we can't even understand an atom. Now, when you say the nuclear power plants and all those things generating a lot of electricity, it is breaking an atom. So that small atom everywhere, it contains infinite, huge energy, which we don't know how it is there and how it has come and all. It is a great mystery. It is mind-boggling, and I want to read this here. Thus, not only is the reality, that means what you see, Purna Mada, not only that, this world too is whole. Not only the outside is whole, this world too is whole in its own right and in a unique way, though the world is only an apparent. Now, what is apparent? We'll see that. So that is whole, this is whole. When you remove this from that, still it remains a whole. So if I take my body, this is a universe on its own. If I see the universe, that is already a universe. If I see this Jivatma, Adatma inside, this seems to be infinite. If I take everywhere the Brahman, that is infinite. So whether I have come from this or this has come from me, if I remove one from the other, still the other remains the infinite. Now this is from Chandogya Upanishad. It says like everything has come from earth. Now, for example, you take a pot. The pot has come from earth. If you understand little bit of earth, you will understand everything which has come out of earth. Similarly, there are many, many things, ornaments made of gold. If you understand one small amount of gold, a bit of gold, then it means you understood everything. So it says like everything is infinite, seems to be. There is nothing finite. Whether it is material or it is spiritual, everything seems to be infinite. But what is that? That is infinite in the materialistic thing. The good example given is here is the gold ornaments. Now, how many ornaments I can make through gold? Infinite, I can make any kind, right? Infinite ornaments I can make through gold. Now, suppose I have 100 grams of gold. I can melt that 100 grams and I can make a necklace. The necklace also 100 grams. So the gold biscuit has turned to the necklace. And from the necklace, you can melt and make a bangle. You can do different things. Just remember, you are making any number of things from, you have 1 kg of gold or 100 grams, whatever it is. Remember, from the gold point of view, there is no change. The gold remains as gold. You are making one form, you are putting a name as a necklace, name as a bangle, name as a chain. Suppose you are the gold, you'll be laughing. What is that? You are asking me to stand here, you are making me this, that shape, you are giving me different form. So what you give form is called mithya, apparent, which you can call as maya. Is that true, right? Suppose you don't understand this design. You are some kind of a insect, which you can see only a grass. Then you will see everything as gold. You will not see the design and all. So why they say it is apparent or it looks like it's a false entity is the name and form. Similarly, all of us have different name and form, but all of our inside is that gold. That gold has taken a different form, like me, like you, like a tree, like an animal. But in the end, if you remove all the name and form, there is only Atman, there is only Brahman. So that's what that shloka says. So this is one easy example. Most of you would have seen Dasavatar movie where 10 avatars our Kamal Haasan has taken. Now right side also Kamal Haasan. I don't know how many people in other state would have seen this movie. So it's also Kamal Haasan. Now tell me, beyond all this name and form, who is there? Kamal Haasan is there. But somebody who has not seen Kamal Haasan, then they will say, no, this is different, that is different. Everyone is different. Especially this lady is different. Cannot be a man. So the name and form varies. You also give name and form to each and everything. On the physical gross level, there is no equality. You cannot equate 2 names and 2 forms. It is totally different. But what is inside name and form, that is same. Similarly, if you and me or the entire creation, if we remove all the name and form, what is inside is only Brahman, nothing else. Coming back, we discussed like how to consider this. How come? What is the proof? What Vedanta says? There are three main important Vedantas. What is it? One is Advaita, other is Dvaita, other is Vishishtadvaita. What is Advaitam? The Advaitam philosophy says everything is one. That means it is one. You see, one entity. In that one only the material, whether it is a materialistic world or it is a spiritual world, your Atma, or when you say Purusha, Prakriti in yoga, everything is Advaitam. It is one, Brahman. When you say Dvaitam, there are two exists. Like in yoga philosophy, it says Purusha, Prakriti. Prakriti is a material reality. Purusha is the Atma, that reality. Purusha has not given birth to Prakriti. Purusha is always there, Prakriti is always there. Purusha cannot become Prakriti, Prakriti cannot become Purusha. There are two realities. It is called Dvaita. No, two. No two means you put A, it becomes opposite. Dvaita becomes Advaita. Now, Vishishtadvaita, special Advaita. What it says, there are two things, but it is encompassed in one. What is the difference between Advaita and Vishishtadvaita? Advaita says everything is one. But Vishishtadvaita is there's a boundary. Like a mother is having a kid. The kid is me, Jivatma. The mother is Paramatma or God. So the mother is holding me. So this is Vishishtadvaita. Or this is the Paramatma and all the materialist reality is this. So what our Swami Vivekananda says, the Vedas cannot show you Brahman. Why they cannot show you? You are already that. Now, one of the example I remember in Chenmaya Mission, they say, what is self-realization is, when you have a spec, I'm wearing a spec. Suddenly I forgot I'm wearing a spec. I keep on searching. Where is my spec? Where is my spec? We always search, like keep a mobile in your pocket and start searching. Where is the mobile? Where is the mobile? So when you start searching, where is the spec? Where is the spec? Suddenly somebody comes and my wife comes and tells me, your spec is there in your nose. Now suddenly I realize, oh my God, oh, here only it is there. Now they say this is called self-realization. You are already realized, but you are forgetting you are realized. Now you come to the realization that you are already Brahman or a self-realized entity. That is called self-realization. So self-realization is not you are going somewhere and getting something. It is realizing who you are. You are already that. You are little forgetting about that. You try to remember and get that experience. That is called self-realization. That's why he says the Vedas cannot show you Brahman. Why they cannot show you? If Brahman is apart from me, different from me, I can see the Brahman. But it is me. Already I am that Brahman. They can only help to take away the veil, the obstacle that hides the truth from our eyes. The first obstacle or the covering to vanish is ignorance, avidya. And when that is gone, sin goes, next desire ceases, selfishness ends, and all misery disappears. This cessation of ignorance can only come when I know that God and I are one. We should know there is no God outside. It is me. Me means that self and God are one. In other words, identify yourself with Atman, not with human limitation. See, when we ask somebody, we say like, I am a very intelligent person, or I am this kind of person, that kind of person. You get identified with your all the external things. But what you are is that Brahman or God himself. Disidentify yourself with the body and all the pain will cease. This is a secret of healing. The universe is a case of hypnotization. De-hypnotize yourself and cease to suffer. That's all. Every word is a valuable thing. Now, if you don't want to understand better, we will understand through an example. Now, this is called Dvaita. Because what? Mango is there in my hand and I am there. The two entities there. I am not the mango. Mango is not me. When you get two identity are there, this is by Dvaitam. Now, why all these philosophy? If you are attracted to Dvaitam, please follow Dvaita philosophy. If you are attracted to Vishishtadvaitam or Advaitam, follow that. These are different parts for self-realization. You want to understand God, you want to understand yourself, you need to follow a master. We have masters in all these philosophy. Not everyone get attracted to one solution, right? You want to reach a temple in the mountain, you can go by walk, You can go by train, you can go by road, by your car, you can go through a helicopter. So, but all the paths are different, but the destination is same. Similarly, all these philosophy paths are different, but the destination is self-realization. So this is Dvaitam. Two are clearly different. Purusha, Prakriti, the world and the Atma, or the Jivatma, Paramatma. Both are totally different. Now, I ate the mango. The mango has gone inside my stomach. Now tell me, can you see the mango outside? No. But still mango is there. If you take an X-ray or scan, you can find the mango in my stomach. This is called Vishishtadvaita. That means I am part of this larger entity. I am part of this, the so-called Brahman or Purusha. This is the philosophy or Vishishtadvaita. Suppose you ate everything got digested. Now everything has been absorbed in your body. Everything is mixed in the blood. Can you now tell me where the mango is? You cannot say. The mango has merged inside you. It has become you. Now, this is what Advaitam. So, Advaitam says there is no difference between me and mango. I am the mango because it has become me. So, this is what the three difference. Now, Advaitam is very famous because you can defend, of course, I should not say other thing. Other thing also, those great masters used to defend, but Advaitam is largely followed. You say go to Upanishad, of course, Upanishad, you have also commentaries for other, Dvaitam or Vishishtadvaitam, but Advaitam is very famous. And today, large, the fraternity of scientific fraternity has come to a conclusion like they and Advaitam both are merging at one point. That means they are merging where Advaitam goes and they start accepting the important concepts of Advaitam. So the body and the life principle. Let's say few mysteries. When you take the first mystery, the sperms, each sperm is a millionth part of a drop of a semen. And the ovum, how come the sperms are swimming? You know, the fluid in which it is swimming is so viscous. In spite of that, it swims and reaches the ovum. And that too, there's a one sperm reaches. So they say, like one of the motivator while talking, he says, you are already a winner. You cannot lose. Why? When millions and millions of sperms were swimming, try to reach the ovum, that specific thing, you reach there. So in the first stage of life itself, you won the game. Because this is a great fight, competition. You won this competition. So nobody can be a loser. Everybody can be a winner. Now this source, how this is getting this energy to reach, and these two, they join together and a new human being is forming. Nobody can explain all those things. The growth of the body within 9 months, they say if the growth, the rate of growth is very proportional. Why not my one limb is not growing more? Why not my nose or the ears is much bigger? It's everything so proportionally. It's like somebody has sculpted with great care. It is all coming one by one with super accuracy. This thing happens. So this is one astonishing thing. In the embryonic stage, when the child is in the womb, there is no difference between a male and a female up to a certain stage. I don't know, people who are good in biology and these things you will be knowing more. And they say the testicles are in the abdomen. From the abdomen, it comes to its position at a certain period. I think they say it's on 7th month. These are all, we don't know how it is getting done. And it is coming to its place. It is not forming there initially. So the Lord only, who is the source of all beings and the ruler of all creatures, knows all these things. Now, one more big wonder is here. In the very early stages of fetal development, the heart begins to form near the head of the embryo. This is the head of the embryo. The heart begins to form near the head in a region called cardiogenic area. This occurs in 18 to 19 days after fertilization. And after that, all the development happens. You see here, it starts here, and see how beautifully the heart started forming. With 2 strands, it slowly started becoming heart. Then at 28 days, the compartments getting formed. And in 8 weeks, more or less, everything is formed. From the head, it is falling down. This I learned from one of our I did a TTC program in an institute where anatomy was a part, and she was a great doctor and a good teacher, did yoga. She was telling from the head, it has fall down towards the heart area. That is the reason. You see here, it is slowly descended. You see the heart here. So when it descended, it came near the lungs and the lungs accommodated it. It can be separate, right? That's why our left side lung is always small. The right side lung is bigger. How come this small slot it has created and some other organ has accommodated? We can't even accommodate a guest for a few days, right? It's a torture. Somebody comes. So how beautifully it is accommodating, not 1 or 2 days, but the whole till it dies. And there is a reason also, right? This lungs and heart are very closely connected. Whatever the oxygen absorbed by the blood has to be circulated by the heart. See, in our pump, which pumps the water to our overhead tank from the well or the bore well, can you keep the pump and the motor away? We always say a motor, but the fan is called pump. Whichever the fan rotating inside and pulling the water, that is actually called a pump. There is an external motor. Like you have a fan, ceiling fan. In the ceiling fan, the blades you can call as a pump, and the motor is that which makes the blade to rotate. Similarly, in a motor pump, water pump, there is a motor which rotates the blade. It has to be close together. If it is away, you cannot operate it. See how beautifully it is true. Now the heart is a motor which is rotating the blood everywhere, but where you will get the oxygen? Through the lungs. So it is very close by, exactly without any friction, very finely it accommodates and it lives forever. It is not descending more. So this is all we need to wonder. There is no other way. What are other mysteries? The cells are great mysteries. They say there are 37.2 trillions and they works in a very complex way. Till now, we do not know many of the functions of these cells. And every cell has 10 microbes living with that. Now, we are all bacteria only. We are avoiding this bacteria, that, and all, trying to wash 100% bacteria gone. Our body is made up of only all these microbes. So every cell is attached with more than 10 microbes, and we don't know how they are attached, what is their function. To some extent, we know, but not fully. Similarly, there is a part called appendix. When you get a pain or swelling there, what they do? In allopathy, they will cut it and throw. Nobody knows what is the function. They may say here and there. Most of the time, they say it's a useless thing. Something is there. Nothing can be useless in our body. But we have not found out the function till now. The yawning. We yawn, we say the oxygen is less, but that's only one small justification, but it's a mystery why we need to yawn. So it keeps a balance of temperature and many things it does, they say, but really we don't know. What is that? Why we need to yawn? When you see the brain, there are a lot of wonders we cannot avoid. When we see only the brain, we'll accept there is God. The female brain is 10% smaller than the male brain. So male brain is 10% larger. And we'll see about the gray matter, white matter in a different picture. See now, this is a male brain. Even if anybody asks, if without writing anything, you can easily say which is male brain, which is female brain. Male brain is very organized. Only by logic it takes decision. See the female brain, you can't even understand. You can't understand female means you can't understand the female brain. A female brain connects the left side and right side of the brain in so many ways. That's why they have a lot of, they have a lot of intuition. That means they can recollect anything. A male will forget. A female will remember exactly, 10 years before, so-and-so, September month, 21st, that is Monday. We'll be wondering, how come you remember everything? There's a huge difference. The most connection for the male brain run between the front and back parts of the same brain hemisphere, which could account for the better spatial skills and motor control thing and different thing. So the strength of the male is different, strength of the female is different. Here, many more neural connections go from side to side, from left to right of the brain. Scientists say this could account for women's better verbal skills and intuitive abilities. That's why spiritually, a woman can go faster, especially through devotion. So she can get the intuition so fast, whereas a man has lesser possibility for it. So female brain, stronger memory, faster information processing, very fast, better at learning language, superior at processing emotion, Whereas male brain, funnier than woman on average, better sense of direction, more likely to take extreme decision. So this is like strength of a man, strength of a woman. You see the gray matter. The gray matter is 6.5x. I don't know what x they say, maybe times 6.5 times of what, I don't know. Whereas here the white matter is 10 times. The gray matter is more in a male brain. White matter is more in female brain. So they make them better at local processing. Whereas here the white matter, the female brain has 10 times the amount of connecting matter, making them better at integrating information. That's why the collecting and integrating information is much better. And this also you would have seen. The male brain is half developed at the age of 15, fully at 30. Female brain, half developed at the age of 11, fully at 22. You know why? All the 10th and 12th result, only girls score more. You have a well-developed brain. Our brains are less. You know, the boys' brains are less, so we cannot study. Our brain will go here and there. So look, at the age of 11, you have off. We are 4 years away. So it's not a fair competition. So we should compare with lesser of your age. And I will read few things here. There are many things we don't know. 2% of the body weight. Brain is 2% of the body weight, but it consumes 20% of the energy. Whatever you eat, 20% goes to the brain, but the weight is only 2%. 25% of cholesterol is in your brain. 60% of the brain is fat. The baby's 2-year-old brain is 80% of the adult size. The brain is a well-developed organ. Our brains are getting smaller. They say now it has 10,000 years before it was much bigger. Now it is very smaller. So size doesn't matter. Einstein's brain is 10% smaller than average, 1.2 kg only. Each of them links to as many as 10,000 other neurons. So each neuron connects to 10,000 other neurons. It's a kind of information processing. We cannot put any number of servers and do. Your brain consumes 20 watts of power, enough to illuminate a light bulb. You can light a bulb, 20 watts of power. Gut is a second brain, which has more neurons, which communicate more back to the brain. That's why we need to keep our gut healthy. That's very much required. If you don't take right food, the brain also goes crazy. So the food is very important, not only to the body, to the brain also. Women have more gray matter compared to man. Men's brain are generally 10% bigger than women's. Your brain contains 100 billion neurons, about 16 times the number of people on earth. 16 times the number of people on earth. So much neurons are there inside our brain. So just not to give a lecture on brain, which I'm not qualified to do all those things, just comparing. When they said about brain, I want to dive a little deeper, and I found all these interesting things in the web. So how the information is coded, how we are storing the information, how every neuron is communicating, nobody knows. To some extent we know, but not fully. How the memories are stored, how the emotions are coming out, what is actually intelligence? How we keep time inside. Why the brains are sleeping? Why the dream is coming? Why? See, we can say spiritually some reason, but scientifically, we don't know what is the reason. How the brain systems integrate, how they integrate with them, and ultimately, what is consciousness? Because many scientists started now analyzing the brain, because consciousness means it has to come there. No, it is there in every cell. You cannot find in the brain. So the question of what is consciousness is always a mystery. We continue this because this is a 7th reason why a scientist believe in God. This is from a scientist, his material I've taken. This is just to inspire, that's all. The more we get inspiration from our own body, we start worshipping this body. We always say, no, God rests here. You can't even understand a cell. When such a wonderful equipment is given, what for you're worrying for? You may have any kind of problem in your life. You see this vehicle, nobody can create this vehicle. You give even a billionaire, or you let the whole world struggle, still you cannot create a human body or a brain or this kind of mechanism. And when we say this can only be given by a creator. Because when you and me cannot do, none of us BSc can do, who would have created? Without a creator, creation cannot come. When I have come here, somebody has given the formula. Somebody has put a programming. Who is that somebody? We call that as a God. So it's all means like God exists. There cannot be a question, second question or second opinion about it. Any question? What does that ask question? These are all like cinema, like Bahubali. We need to see our body and mind. That's true. No, many times I felt like I should have studied biology, because all physics, chemistry, physics, I like physics. It was wonderful, but when we started seeing biology, no science can come near biology, because this is a real wonder. When you're wondering about the universe or cosmos or sun, moon, star, this is nothing compared to our body. Our body is a much bigger wonder than all those things. Okay, so thank you all. So we'll meet tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock. Hari Om. Namaskar.
Hari Om,
sir.
sir.
Hari Om, sir. Thank you, sir. Hari Om, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Hari Om.
Thank you, sir.